My worst fear going into the F1 movie was that it was going to be good and that I was going to like it, which is not good because I'm a really stubborn person and I've been hating this movie since the day I've heard about it. So that would mean I'd have to take back my words. But thankfully for us, that didn't happen. It's been about 3 weeks now since I've seen the F1 movie. I watched it the premiere day. I wasn't planning on watching it at all, but my brother wanted to watch it, and I am a pushover for him. I don't know where that accent came from. This is my official review for this movie. I'm going to talk about this once and never again, hopefully. I'm outside for this because I wanted to get some leg space, you know what I mean? Move around, get those hips working. Get those joints a moving. However, I live in a noise topia. I have a microphone. I'm hoping it's working. I is the light on? The light is on, so it should. Look at there's a plane. It's also really freaking cloudy. I hope it doesn't rain on us. Rain on me. Oh, so okay. Peep the fit. Peep the fit. Do we like the fit? Is it weird? Oh, I got Bob Ross socks and Crocs. Anyways, let's talk about the F1ness of the movie. The realism factor and whether or not I like it. I am a relatively new fan, so I feel like there's probably stuff I am missing. My knowledge of F1 currently is mostly in like the social game of it all. I don't know too much about the mechanicalness. I am learning, but I don't know too much yet to like fully say like I think this was accurate or not. But I'm gonna talk about from what I know. Okay. Okay. So one thing I noticed while watching is that there's a lot of discontinuity. Discontinuity. There's a lot of discontinuity. They were filming this movie, I believe, during the 2023 and 2024 F1 seasons, which if you are a fan like me, you can tell when those switches happen. It's a tiny, tiny, tiny bit noticeable, but it really doesn't like have a huge effect on the movie, so it's fine. It's fine. It's just if you're a fan, you might get a little bit annoyed, but it's fine. Also, if you're a fan, you will notice the voices of the commentators throughout the movie during the race scenes. Put the names right here. These are their names. You will notice their voices during these races, which is, typical. That's how an actual race would go. What's untypical is that non-typical is untypical a word. What's not typical is that these commentators are they're giving a full breakdown of F1 during the race. I find that hilarious, man. It was so funny. I'll talk about this more later, but I feel like they're trying to both cater to the fans of F1, but also get like new people. Like they're just trying to make a movie also. So that means they have to explain what F1 is and the rules of F1 during the movie in a like seamless way. Was this seamless? I'm not sure. As a fan watching it, I don't think it was that seamless. It was just funny to me. I'm sure if you're not a fan, you don't realize how like funny and goofy it is that these guys are like, wow, it's a wet race, meaning that they have to change tires into wet tires. I like, what is this like glare? Do you see that? Oh wow, I think that's the crack from my iPhone screen protector. Oh, it's kind of noticeable, but don't mind that. In terms of like the underdog storyness, the whole story is that this guy or this team sucks, but they need to win. And it's like, is that even possible? I don't think that's possible. I'm here to tell you that is very much possible. Does it happen a lot? No, no, it doesn't. But it is possible for a team to be completely trash and stinky and doo doo and have like a once in a blue moon really good result at a race. A recent kind of example, actually a really recent example, would be Nico Hulkenberg getting podium just this past recent race at Silverstone 2025. Nico Hulkenberg got his first ever podium with the team Kick Sauber, and Sauber has notoriously been a really stinky team these past few years. Last year they got 8 points total. So this third place is like really is revolutionary. Now third place isn't a win, but I think that just shows you that it is possible for a stinky doo doo team to do good once in a while. So that's fine. I have a lot to say about Brad Pitt's character, so I'll save that for later, I think. Just know that that guy, that whole character, I'm side eyeing heavily. On that note, I think F1 is very much a team sport. I don't think people realize how much of a team sport it is because there is just one guy in the car. But it takes a whole team to make that car up. It takes a whole team to plan a strategy and to carry that strategy out. There's only one person with the number, right? There's only one person. Like Oscar Piastri, he's the only one with the number 81. but he has a whole team. Look at the sun. Oh, it's coming out. But Oscar Piastri has a whole team that helps him get the results he gets. If that makes sense. I don't know. I'm trying to make this simple for you guys to understand. So like you don't have to watch my whole 2 hour video on F1. Hopefully it's working. But yeah, that's just a little note more so for when I talk about Brad Pitt's character. He in this movie seemed to kind of forget, I think, that it's not just the driver who makes the race. You know what I mean? I revisited the trailer to get some screen caps for this video, and
Formula One is a team sport. It always was.
so I guess they do know that, but they just kind of decide against it. Okay. Now for the big one. This is the big thing that actually pissed me the F off during this movie. Is it my biggest complaint? I don't know, but it's my biggest complaint in terms of the realism factor, because this is something I like truly cannot ignore for the life of me. And that is the crashes. I'll start by saying that the crashes are actually pretty whoa, no. They're not pretty. The crashes are actually like I think well done in the sense that like these are all crashes that either have kind of happened, because I think that some of these I'm pretty sure they just use like CGI to make it like their specific cars or whatever over like real life crashes, I mean. And if not, then they like use those crashes for inspiration. So these are all crashes that either have happened or these could absolutely happen. They get that little realistic point. What's not realistic is crashing on purpose. That is insane. I'm like, it's hard to say this without like going into like some history lesson, but basically, to put it short. Okay, so I did not put it short. Basically, what happened is that at the 2008 Singapore Grand Prix, Renault driver Nelson Piquet Jr. purposely crashed because his team principal told him to. His crash caused a safety car, and because of the safety car and pit stop rules, his crash ensured that his teammate Fernando Alonso won the race. This is very illegal and very dangerous, which I will continue to emphasize in a second. This whole event was known as Crashgate. People were like, hey, that seems suspicious as fuck. And so they had a whole investigation. They realized, yeah, this dude did in fact tell his drivers to crash purposely. That is super duper against the rules. It's super duper against the rules partially because it's super duper 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 dangerous. These crashes, especially back then, were deadly. They were deadly. They were so dangerous. So to tell a person to crash on purpose is like telling them to kill themselves. Like, be serious. It's almost overpowered, I feel. You get to like control the race to like an extreme amount. If you crash the way you wanted to, if your crash goes according to plan, you could literally stop the whole race like early, you know, or like restart it. And I'm like, that's crazy. Now, what did this movie do? What did this movie do? This movie featured Brad Pitt crashing on purpose, because of course it did. They didn't play it as if he just did like the biggest cardinal sin in F1. No, 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 no. They played it like he was a genius, like he was a strategy mastermind, which is just so stupid and so incorrect. The first F1 race they show in the movie, where he crashes at least 3 times, I want to say, on purpose in this race, and no one questions it. No one stops. No one on the FIA, on the board, on the refs. None of these people go, that's suspicious. That's weird. This strategy is not a strategy. It's not a hack. It's cheating, and it's stupid as hell. Because he is actively risking his life and the lives of all these other drivers to like get a point. And you want me to root for that? You want me to root for this cheating motherfucker? No, 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 no. Not me. Not me. I like a fair and square game. They're racing history. They're babyfying, they're woobifying freaking Flavio. And it's not gonna work on me. I don't know who you think I am, but I'm not that bitch. I do think the amount of crashes that they show in this movie is kind of a lot. The crashes in F1 are probably some of the most interesting things that occur during races. If you just watch like an F1, like any F1 race, chances are you're gonna be bored. Chances are you're not gonna like it because, like, F1 fans like to make fun of NASCAR fans because they're like, you're just watching a car go left and left and left. And it's like, F1 is barely different. if you're just watching the cars, like if you don't understand the strategies going on, if you don't understand the drama happening behind the scenes, you're only getting half the story. If you're not watching Untucked, you're only getting half the story, mama. Is drag race and motorsport? Let's talk about that. If you like are going in blind to an F1 race, chances are you're going to be bored because like a typical race right now, especially, it's just the race. The like cars just going zoom, zoom, zoom. There's barely any overtakes right now. A lot of the time, the cars will end up in the same spot they started in. When a crash happens, it is kind of interesting. So I understand why they put the crashes in, but I don't understand why they had to make it strategy. It's just plain stupid, and I can't ignore it. It makes the movie worse, in my opinion. So those are my comments for the F1ness of this movie. Is it realistic? Somewhat. And only partially does it matter that it's not realistic. Because I love movies. I really do. And I understand that not all movies are realistic. Like, hello. But with the Crash Gate, you do Crash Gate 6 times in this damn movie, and you want me to pretend like it's for real? Like, I cannot suspend my belief for that long. I can't do it to that extent. That's too much, man. That's crazy. You are teaching some bullshit to these youths, to these new coming F1 fans. You're teaching them bullshit. And I won't stand for it. Oh, peep the iPad also. I don't think I introduced it. iPad with notes. iPad with notes. I'm an iPad baby. And I'm a little bit ashamed to say it, but it's my life. It's now. This is me. Whoa. Look out, cause here I come. I'm my iPad baby, and I love uh, my iPad. This is the best way I could describe this movie, and I think you'd understand why I hate it if I describe it this way. If you are an old cis het white American man who hates people of color, women, F1, movies, and yourself, then you'll love this movie. Then this movie is for you, buddy. But if you're none of those things, then chances are you won't really like this movie, in my opinion. Let's break that down now. I think first I'm going to talk about the hating of people of color and women because it's kind of like it's in the same boat that those two categories. The like secondary character, I would say, like this the second guy, I forget his name. I think it's like Joseph Pierce. They call him JP, but it's kind of like a nickname that he doesn't like. So I feel kind of weird calling him JP, but I don't remember his name and I don't really want to search it up because I don't really care about this movie. Am I part of the problem? In my opinion, this character is probably the most interesting one. So what does it say that I can't remember the name of the most interesting character? Like, surely that can't be a good sign. Oh my god, I thought that stick was a snake for a second. I find him interesting because, like, he's a rookie, new to the game, new to the craft, but he's got a lot of talent, obviously. In this universe, he's only one of two black drivers, so, that's a lot of different types of pressures and whole lot of eyes on you, man. Whole lot of eyes on you. He has this whole storyline, plotline thing with his mom. He's not from, like, a rich generational like F1 family. But of course, we gotta focus on the lame ass Brad Pitt character. And then also, JP becomes like the villain at one point, except they don't really commit to that. Like, even that would have been good. I would have had thoughts about that, that the like one of the only black characters in the movie is the villain. But that would have been interesting to see like a villain origin story, but couldn't even commit to that, man. And also his villain arc is so damn dumb. His villain arc is just like this old man who's a piece of shit and treating me horribly is making me mad. Like, how does that make him a villain? That makes him a rational human being. As for the woman, oh my god, it's been a while. Well, actually, I just watched Mission Impossible, so it hasn't been too long of a time, but it's been a bit since I've seen a movie so misogynistic. All the women in this movie, God bless them. God bless them, because it's not their fault. It's not their fault that they are living in this evil, evil world created by these evil, evil writers who give them the worst storylines. A lot of the fuck ups that happen in this movie, a lot of the mistakes that the team make have to do with the women. For example, there's a pit crew member who is a woman, and her whole plot line is that she can't do her damn job. She sucks at changing tires. And like Sunny was gonna help her at one point. She says no. Thank God. Thank God she says no to Sunny helping her. Why did it have to be a woman? Why couldn't we have What's crazy too is that I know that someone is out there thinking right now as I'm saying this that like if it was a man who had this plotline who was doing the fuck ups with the tires, then you would have been mad that there were no women in the movie. But it's just like Why can't we just write better women characters? Like, we know nothing about her other than she sucks at doing her job. She does eventually get good at it, but it's just like, that's it. That's all that women have to offer? Fuck ups and redemption? Other woman character, I don't even know what her job is. This is beyond my knowledge, but she is a tech something, helps the guys with their stimulations. Is that what they're called? Stimulations? Ugh, that sounds kind of. But whenever the guys go on like their VR sets, she's there helping him. We don't know her name. I don't know her name. I bet no one else does. Does she have an arc? I don't think so. She's very much a side character, which is fine, but it's just like further proof that the women in this movie are just side characters. They just exist. They're just there so they can say there are women in this movie. Where are my notes? There is big doo doo right there. Bruh. I don't think that was there yesterday. That's brand new. It's a new day. It's a new dawn, it's a new day, and I'm feeling good. It's sunny now, so I'm not wearing my Ferrari jacket. I can't tell if my brother's watching me. Nope, he's not. My brother's home today, so he's probably gonna be watching me and judging me from the inside. There's poop on the lawn now. My dog's outside. Life carries on. So the main woman character is the technical director, I want to say is her title. She's in charge of like making the car. Huge title, huge job. It's not one in real life that a woman has ever held before. So like this is like big for a movie to like show that, right? It shows this possibility of woman in STEM. Yes. But of course, the car she makes is like universally agreed upon by all the male characters to be a shitbox. I'm being entranced by the reflection of my iPad. Oh, bugs. It really minimizes her talent, her genius when you say that what she creates is horrible. You know what I mean? And her car only gets good when she has input from the male characters, from freaking Sunny Hayes, Brad Pitt's character. That's when the car gets good. Some drivers are book smart like that. Some drivers like have engineering degrees or whatever. Not Brad Pitt. Not Sunny Hayes. He just drives, okay? And you want to tell me that he knows more about making a car than this woman who has worked at a NASA type facility, if not actual NASA? That's not right. You're lying to me. And of course, this woman also has a relationship with Brad Pitt's character, Sunny Hayes. We left consensual workplace relationships behind in 2022. No, we didn't. Severance still exists. This dookie reeks. I'm not picking it up. I refuse to pick it up. But I will complain about it. I complain about a lot of things if you haven't realized. There is lots of dookie actually all around. The yard work though is not my chore, so I'm not gonna be doing that shit. I'm not gonna be dealing with this shit. Ayo. What was I saying? So yeah, this woman character has a relationship. It's like kind of romance. No, not really. It's just sex, man, which is fine in the grand scheme of things. Like I don't need these two people to be falling in love to have sex. Like, I'm not a prude, but it just minimizes this character who's already being minimized. All she's good for is having sex. What a lovely message to send to women all over. This movie genuinely had me hating everyone and everything. I like was reading through some of the reviews of this movie on online, like on Instagram and stuff, and a lot of people agreed with me. A lot of fans agreed with me that it was kind of like shitty for F1 fans, but also just like as a movie was kind of shitty. And then never read Instagram comments is what I'm starting to learn, because I was like, let me see what these comments are saying, see if they agree with me in these posts. And of course, they're like, "What do you keep bringing the misogyny? Are you just looking for clicks? Clicking for a little views? You want brownie points or something for bringing up the misogyny?" It's just a bunch of people like attacking the woke mob, the woke agenda. And I go, I love the woke agenda. I really did. I like literally was so depressed after watching this movie. That's not even really a joke. Like it genuinely made me like lose hope in humanity for a little bit. This movie kind of made bank in the box office, I think. And I think like there are talks already of making a sequel. And so it just kind of made me sad to think like this is the future of the theater going experience. But I don't have to watch the next ones. I really don't. This is good for me. Maybe this is a lesson in standing up for myself and not being a pushover. Wow. Thank you, F1 movie. Besides making me kind of hate movies, it's also kind of made me hate F1 because I was like, damn, is this how the sport really is? Is this how people actually enjoy the sport? They like this shit? Hmm. Maybe I'm not a fan at all. You know what? I'm actually gonna. Boy, you barking at boy. Did you hear that? I hope you heard that. I wonder how far this microphone connects. I wonder if you can even hear me right now. There's this little boy. I'm gonna call him out, not by name, but I will be specific in saying that there's this little boy who's trying to get in the pants of my best friend. Trying and failing, if I can't say. He watched this movie and I have become aware of his opinion. He pissed me the fuck off, honestly. He's on my list. My BFF told him, yeah, my BFF watched that movie, me, right? I watched that movie and she really did not like it. And his response to that was, well, is it because it's not realistic? Because if it's that, that might change my opinion of this person. Oh, bugs are attacking me. The bugs are attacking me for being petty, but I will be petty. I will continue. So this is my response to you, little boy. I already talked about the F1 realism factor, and it's like mediocre. It's fine. It's decent enough. And even if it's not, it's mostly not bothering. You know, it doesn't affect the whole movie except that one Crashgate bit. We all know about that. No need to get into that again. It's not just about the realism. It's actually mostly because I think it's just a shit movie. It is so bad. I think this shit is shit. And then these characters, I don't remember a singular one besides Sonny Hayes, and that's because he's the main character. He's Brad Pitt, and also like that's all they've been talking about in like the trailers and stuff. That's all like I only know Sonny Hayes because he's a meme. Okay, he's a meme in the F1 community. That one guy, what's his name? I think it's Pablo Escobar. No, the fuck, it's not. This is not fucking Pablo Escobar. This is Javier Bardem. Bardem? Is that even how you say his last name? Holy shit, I'm a horrible person. I do not catch this mistake throughout this video, and I will not fix it in post because it does lead to some funny sentences, I will say, and you will find. Sorry to Javier Bardem. I apologize for calling you Pablo Escobar and for continuing to do so for the foreseeable 30 minutes or so. Am I racist? I know him, the actor. I don't know him, the character. I don't care about him, the character. They all are just so not even two-dimensional. They're one-dimensional. Yeah, one-note characters. JB is the Lewis Hamilton type. Pablo Escobar's character is just sexy and that actually might be it. The woman character sucks at her job and sleeps with Brad Pitt. Bad, but Sonny Hayes. Sonny Hayes is annoying as shit and a huge asshole. I'm gonna get into Sonny Hayes in just 1 minute, but before that, let me also say that this movie, the plot is so just lame, honestly. It's so lame. Like, if all the plots you could do, this is what you did, brother. For all the people who didn't watch this movie, which I'm assuming is every single person watching this video, the plot is basically the shitty team needs to win a race by the end of the season, or else the whole, like, everyone's fired. Every single person on this team is fired. So they hired Sonny Hayes, this like 60-year-old man who used to race in like the 90s or something. They hired him because he was friends with Pablo Escobar or something. I don't know. I don't know. I don't care. Is that his name? Should we search up his name? I don't want to. Either I'm right or I'm wrong. What? Either I'm right or I'm wrong, and if I'm wrong, we'll laugh about it. This movie I also thought had really, really, really horrible and cringy dialogue. It almost felt like Fast and Furious. People don't talk like that, man. People don't talk like that. People don't say one-liners just like that. It's very Marvel-esque, actually. Oh my god, I just remembered. This is something that I think like is one of my key takeaways from this movie is that Plan C for combat. Oh, brother. Basically, in F1, you have different pit strategies or different race strategies, right? Basically, all teams, all drivers, they go plan A, plan B, plan C. Now, the plan A, plan B, plan C nonsense is so one, other teams don't know your plan. Like, you just say that, and like everyone on your team knows, but the other teams who may be overhearing don't know. And two, it's just, it's shorthand. Plan A is obviously your initial plan. Plan B is backup. Plan C is backup. Obviously, right. And in one scene, they're planning their plans. They're going over their plans. At this point, Brad Pitt's character is running the whole damn team. Plan C is reserved at this point for Sonny Hayes's, like, Hail Mary. And there's one scene where he goes, Plan C is for combat. As in, they're going to like get up close and personal with the other cars, perhaps crash them out, and it won't be cheating because that doesn't exist in this universe. And then I don't know who the fuck starts it, but someone goes, like on a table, they go, come back, come back, come back. And then the whole fucking room. These are all adult, mostly men, just going, come back, come back. Like it's a fucking, like, field day. Like it's an elementary school field day, man. And they're hyping up their flag football team. Like, be serious. And then they're on like a Zoom call or something with their other people back at home base, back at headquarters, and all those people start going, "Come back, come back, come back," and it's so. Oh my god! You're telling me that you people watched that and didn't like piss yourself laughing? You didn't cringe over that? You thought that was good? You thought that was emotional? You thought it was dramatic? Oh, okay. Sure, sure. So yeah, that's just a little example of why I think the dialogue sucks. So let's talk about Sunny Hayes. I've been mentioning him throughout this video, so let's finally freaking talk about him. I think Sunny Hayes is probably top 10 most unlikable protagonists of all time. Truly, genuinely. Oh, shade. Oh, this is nice. One of my big critiques about Sunny Hayes is who they casted for him. First, there's the topic of age. The oldest driver currently on the grid is Fernando Alonso, and he's 40 something. Lewis Hamilton is also 40 something, and he's, he is the GOAT. Currently, he's the GOAT. Brad Pitt is 60. Sunny Hayes, I think they try to pull him off as 50, which is still old, but like it's kind of possible. It's possible enough. Like if you squint, if we put on our suspension of disbelief glasses and are like, this is a movie, miracles can happen, then yeah, his age is fine. But what gets me is that Brad Pitt is sure as hell not doing all that shit. He doesn't have the it factor to be pulling this shit off. I think Pablo Escobar is a better cast for Sunny Hayes, if I'm honest. I believe that he could be an F1 driver at his age more than I can Brad Pitt. And it's mostly because he's an American, if I'm honest. American drivers have not really been that good. Like, I can't think of one famous American driver who's famous for being good. I just know Logan Sargent, who's kind of infamous. So, like, I'm not believing that American driver is gonna be doing all that at the age of 60. Respectfully. But besides the cast, I think as a character, like written down, he sucks. And that's because he's very much giving like self insert for, oh, there are creatures in the trees. There are small, innocent creatures in the trees. Sunny Hayes is very much giving self insert for arrogant, misogynistic assholes. He is so mean to everyone, and it doesn't change. It's just everyone like realizes he's right or something. I don't quite get that. Because if it was me, if it was me there, I'd be throwing hands, metaphorically speaking. Sit your grandpa ass down. Who the hell do you think you are talking to me like that? This is what that point I alluded to earlier comes into hand as to this movie forgetting that F1 is kind of a team sport. Because Sunny Hayes ends up being the king of Apex, the team, right? In the first race, he like refuses to race unless they give him his correct tire strategy. And this is where it kind of feels like a self insert for F1 drivers. Because it's like, I know those bitches want to pull that off sometimes. I know those Ferrari drivers. Lewis Hamilton produced this movie. I know he wishes that he could do that. Pull that little stunt out and just say, I'm not racing unless you give me what I want. But that's not the reality. And it just pisses me off. I don't know if it's just because I'm an F1 fan and I know it's not the reality, or because it's this baby ass man who's throwing a tantrum. I don't find that badass. I find that annoying. Maybe it's just me. This is the thing. He's old, he's washed out, and he's American. And you want me to believe that that guy knows more than all these people who went to school for this stuff? It's not happening. The math isn't mathing. I don't believe you. He just keeps winning and I don't get why. Oh, what does my dog have? Stitch? Boy, what the hell is that? Is that a nut? ASMR of my dog eating something random. I think it's a nut. Sunny Hayes is completely unlikable, and something that makes me hate him even more is the fact that everyone in this movie apparently love him for seemingly no reason. He should not be winning that much. He should not be having that much people support him, if we're being honest, but clearly we're not. Clearly, we're being delusional. I didn't know we were playing that far into make believe. My bad. I think in general, this whole movie really lacks like repercussions. For starters, they just kind of get away with cheating. The money cap, there's a money cap in F1 where teams can't like spend too much money on adjusting their car or anything, lest they be fined or given huge penalties during races. You're telling me this team is like broke as hell, right? Like that's kind of the whole plot of the movie. First of all, how do they have that money to pull off these type of changes to the car? Second of all, no way that they're doing all these type of changes to the car and not surpassing that money cap. That's just not how math works. And then of course, Sonny Hayes just nothing happens to him. The movie, oh my god. Spoiler alert, Brad Pitt, Sonny Hayes ends up basically the same spot he started in. So the whole movie is kind of just like a spinning top where there's like action happening, but we end up not leaving anywhere. Sonny Hayes starts the movie an asshole who's doing random races across the world, and he ends the movie the same way, which is fine, I guess. It just kind of makes me feel like I wasted my time because like he doesn't even change personality wise. We have no reason to believe that. I don't think he even like goes on to have a relationship with this woman. That's just not the type of movie I personally like to watch. Maybe it's the type of movie you like to watch, in which case I don't get you, but that's okay. For me personally, this movie just feels like they forgot the movie. It's a movie with no movie. It just feels so skeletal. It feels like this is the rough draft of a movie, and yet I saw it in freaking Dolby. Like, huh? Now he's eating grass. Yummy. Wait, how did I do it before? Like this? Huh? Alright, I think that's better. Alternatively, this movie kind of felt like a movie's moving sidewalk. There was a journey, but that journey kind of felt forced. And I think a part of it has to do with something I'm calling the Tom Cruise effect. Now, maybe this is because I'm coming off of a Mission Impossible binge, but this movie feels so Tom Cruise heavy. It's very much giving Brad Pitt does Top Gun Maverick, I think. They're like, let's do cool scenes with cool vehicles and make it feel so real and make it so good for the IMAX and for the 4D seats. And that's where their focus was in this movie. The movie was heavily reliant on spectacle. But the thing is, I wasn't really like feeling that it was spectacular. I think there just wasn't enough tension built in these scenes. Like in Top Gun Maverick, it was very much like do or die situations, which F1 is also do or die, but to a lesser extent. So like you can't really bank on that, or at least this movie didn't really bank on that. I think there's a way to, but they didn't do that. But then if you go through like the sports tension of it all, and the whole tension that they create in this movie is like needing to win to keep these people from being fired. I wasn't really feeling that either because I'm like, it's Brad Pitt. He's gonna win. What the hell was that? Sonny Hayes doesn't lose, clearly. He doesn't have people go against him in any way. So, like, it's kind of hard to believe that there are stakes at all. The only stake here is on Kick Sauber's car. Hey yo, little F1 humor for y'all. Or I guess it's not it's not Top Gun Maverick. It's Brad Pitt does Days of Thunder? I guess. I haven't seen that movie, but I hear it's about like NASCAR and Brad Pitt's in it. I mean, and Tom Cruise is in it. So I think that was his attempt of doing that. I think a big reason why a Tom Cruise movie feels more like it has more substance than this movie is because not only are the risks are higher, but the characters are more easy to get attached to. I will give Tom Cruise and his movie uh, discography this. The movies you're in are not afraid to kill the characters. I hope you guys can't hear the construction too badly. I'm sorry if you can, but I'm gonna just keep going. People have died in F1 before, so there was a possibility to do that. I can understand if they didn't want to do that though, because you know they didn't want a death in their fun sports movie, or maybe they felt it was too disrespectful. Maybe they didn't want to glamorize F1 deaths, which I think I could understand to an extent. But like, do something. Have someone get fired. Have someone get badly hurt. They have people get hurt. Sonny Hayes is hurt, dude. He was that's the whole reason he was out, but like nothing ever comes from his back injury. Or JP, nothing ever comes from his horrible, horrible crash. He's back at it. Better than ever when he comes back. So what's the point? Just make me care about this movie. Make me care about the story, make me care about the characters, make me care. You're not doing this. Some final comments before I get into ways I think this movie could have been better. I've kind of mentioned some throughout this video, but I have some more specific ones I want to talk about. This is kind of pointed towards that little boy who was bullying me about my F1 movie opinions. Miss me with that. This movie is not for you bullshit. This also goes for the people who are like, why are you complaining about the woman in this movie? Maybe this movie's not for women. Number one, let me have an opinion. All right? Let me have a fucking opinion. That's the First Amendment right? Freedom of speech, freedom of expression. I'm practicing that right. Just like you can like this movie, I could dislike this movie. That's just the truth. Number two, other people besides you exist. Do you realize that? Do you understand that? Maybe not every movie is made for me, but maybe not every movie is made for you either. Or more like, not every movie should be made for you. You don't fucking deserve it. You and I both deserve movies. That's just the truth. And you get all the movies all the time. So, like, why can't I be mad about not getting a movie once in a while? Does this argument make sense? I'm not too sure, but I don't really want to explain it. Moving on. Point number three is that, do you realize how fucking crazy you sound when you say that the F1 movie is not made for F1 fans? I gotta go. What's the point, man? What's the point of the movie if that's not what you're doing? I saw this post, I think it was like a Tumblr post or something, but it's like, this is genre for people who don't like the genre. So it's shit. Let's say I love lemonade. I do love lemonade. But let's say that I love lemonade and you're like, I made this lemonade for people who don't like lemonade. I'm not gonna like it because that's not the lemonade I like because I like lemonade. You know what I mean? This is F1 for people who don't like F1. Why you make that then? Just make something else. Because I like F1. And if you make a thing about the thing I like and you make it shit, I'm gonna hate you forever. This whole movie feels like a gigantic ad. That's kind of why it feels like it has no substance. It's why it feels so skeletal. It's because it feels just like an ad. And I'm not talking trailer, I'm just talking like Super Bowl advertising. If that. Barely, man, barely. It's just like typical Tuesday advertising, honestly. It's a super fucking rich sport, right? You have to be millionaires to be part of the sport. All the cars are covered head to toe in logos from their sponsorships. They add that bit of realism to this movie where Apex's made up team is covered head to toe in real life companies. Hometown Heroes WeatherTech were in that movie, and they were honestly all I could notice. Them and all the other advertising. I'm like, wow, I am nothing but a consumer to these people. All right. If you like feeling like a consumer, then this movie is for you, I guess. All right. Here are some of my ideas as to how I think this movie could have been improved. Could have been a decent movie. First, make up an entirely new grid full of new characters, full of OCs. I mean, don't get me wrong, one of the best parts of watching this movie was pointing at all the F1 drivers and going, it's Lewis Hamilton. It's Oscar Piastri. But like they don't really have any reason to exist. There's no reason for these real people to exist in this universe other than for that pointing aspect. And all it really does is make F1 fans notice the discontinuities. So having a completely made up grid, I think, would have avoided that fact, and also would have allowed you to like play more with the different like inter-team dynamics and just overall driver dynamics. This started as a joke opinion of mine, but now I'm like, actually, this could be kind of interesting. Maybe if done the right way, would to be to focus on one race only and make the whole movie just about one race. A typical race in F1 lasts about 2 hours. That's solid movie length, man. Focus on the team dynamics and the behind the scenes. Anyone who's not a driver, focus on their strategizing and their interpersonal dramas. Have flashbacks throughout the race of like, this is why this is a big moment. I don't know. It's not my job to write the movie, okay? This is just an idea, okay? Sit with that for a minute. Think about how that could be interesting. Other idea, have a non-American lead. Have a non 60-year-old lead. Have a non Brad Pitt lead. I don't think he's right for the role, man. That is a miscast if I've ever seen one. What a beautiful butterfly. Oh, it's gorgeous. Oh. Another idea, have Sonny Hayes die. Maybe I'm saying that just because I want to kill him. Or maybe I'm saying that because I would have added repercussions and consequences to this movie. Like, he's old. He is an old man who has a back injury and is in these killing machine cars. Have him win the race and die immediately after. And last and certainly not least, a way I would have improved this movie is by adding Yowie. Yeah, I said that. Who's surprised that I said that, actually? No one. A big part of the fandom experience I have in F1 is the Yowie of it all, like ship culture. Do I participate? Meh, not really, but I do love watching it. I'm a sideline shipper kind of. Like I'm not serious about it, but it is fun to do RPF. I will admit. And there's a reason why RPF of F1 exists. It's because these dynamics between these drivers are so just like they're so juicy. There's rivals to lovers, there's friends to lovers, there's enemies and lovers, there's enemies with benefits, there's age gap, there's there's age gap, there's power dynamics. I'm not asking for like a full ass makeout scene between two men, but I think if you really looked into the relationship that happens between two teammates in an F1 team, that would have been interesting. The real life relationship dynamics in F1 is kind of the thing pushing the narrative in F1. Because there is an F1 narrative mostly about the driver dynamics. Like, that's a big component. The fact that in the movie, the relationship between Sonny Hayes and JP is kind of just like a disregarded subplot is disappointing to me. I think instead of a forced relationship, a forced romantic sexual plot line with the lady engineer, you should have just focused on the two men. Is that misogynistic to say? Maybe. But on the note of yaoi, and I thought about this a lot, I think that Challengers should have been the blueprint. I realized that Challengers was released amidst filming for the F1 movie, so this is kind of like a pipe dream, but I think the vibe should have been more Challengers like and less Top Gun like. Because you kind of failed the Top Gun aspect of it. So lean more into the challengers aspect is what I would say. Like it's literally oh my god, it's perfect with everything I've just said. Like challengers focuses on one game, similar to how maybe F1 movie should have focused on one race. Challengers is all about the relationships ultimately, similar to how I think the F1 movie should have been all about the relationships. Challengers, is very much thruple, very much about the relationship between three people, which I guess we could have had there too if you want to throw in the woman engineer at that point. Why not? Why not? Just also make it. I remember hearing people say about challengers that everything is tennis except for tennis. Tennis is sex. And I think we should have brought that type of mantra to the F1 movie. Maybe it's like everything is a race except for the races. Races are sex. Is that crazy to say? I think so. My iPad is fully burning up. Maybe the races aren't sex, but the races should be metaphorical for something else, right? Maybe they should be sex. Who knows? I really think that this movie could have really been something if they focused much more on giving their characters like actual characteristics. I think that one of the biggest problems with the F1 movie was working with F1. Honestly, I think that's what made it kind of feel like a giant ad because it was. It was a giant ad for the sport, for F1, as well as all the sponsorships in the movie. Working with F1 also kind of like restrain it. It felt like it had like network broadcasting type of restrictions. You know what I mean? It felt like they couldn't really fully go out there and show something thought provoking because they had to like make sure it was within the F1 standard or whatever. I don't know. And then working with F1 also like put this pressure of them of committing to being realistic. I feel like the realism factor was kind of what they were banking on, and they didn't really fully achieve it. So now it just kind of feels like shit. And even if it was completely and utterly realistic, that doesn't guarantee that it'll be a good movie. Doesn't guarantee that it'll be a good story. Movies are ultimately stories. And you didn't deliver on that. You did not deliver a good story. I'm not sorry. Because that was your job. And you failed. I think it's possible to create a good F1 movie. I think they kind of already have. They were based on like real life people. I think that all the good F1 movies, but I think that one day there will be a good F1 movie that is not someone else's life or this schlop. I believe that it's possible to create an F1 movie that is actually artistically interesting and the storytelling is actually good in it and that the characters are actually decent and that Brad Pitt is not in it. Nah, come on. That's all they needed. That's all they really needed in this movie. It needed a little bit of nah, come on. Lewis Hamilton, I forgive you for making this bucket of slop. Um, but I won't forget. I loved seeing Roscoe though. I loved seeing your dog. Your dog is an excellent actor. Loved him. He was my favorite part of the whole movie. I think this movie needed more Oscar Piastri. Definitely watching him walk away like a millisecond after like the national anthem scene was so freaking funny, man. He did not want to be there, and it makes me just wonder how many other of the drivers truly just did not give a shit about filming for this movie. I think most of them actually did not care about this movie. and do not care about this movie. But my final opinion about the F1 movie that I had almost immediately while watching this movie, it was like the movie started and I was like, I know exactly what to tell people is that if you want to watch the F1 movie, don't. Watch Cars 3 instead. I'm serious about that. Cars 3 is kind of like the F1 movie plot wise. It's about this old racer trying to keep up with all these young blood, but he has to win the race or else it's curtains for a ton of people, including himself. But it just does the story way better. It's more entertaining, in my opinion. It's funnier, it's more heartfelt, and I like the way it ends more. It shows that things may not go your way in life, but there are ways to feel like a winner anyways. The Cars 3 movie shows that through friendship anything is possible. And that's beautiful. That's what was missing from the F1 movie. It missed the power of friendship. Thank you and good night.